Welcome to this live stream. I'm having a day off, and for quite some time, I have a bunch of these keyboards. GMMK Compact. This is the Barebone edition, which means that there are no keys, no switches, no keycaps. It's a mechanical keyboard, USB-C mechanical keyboard. It's from this company Glorious PC gaming craze. I'm not a gamer, but I found these keyboards at a bargain, so I bought. Actually, I think I have 4 or 5 of them, and for more than a year, they have been just sitting in the box, and I simply didn't have enough spare time to have a look at it. So today I decided to have a little bit of fun. The other reason to do this is that I bought a bunch of keycaps that I would like to try out. These are super cheap Chinese keycaps from Temu. I bought like 6 kits. Some of these kits are fine, others are not that fine. Let me switch the cameras. So this is gonna be my setup. Actually, this is the keyboard that we're gonna unbox. GMMK1 Compact. It looks like this. And here are the keycaps. Black keycaps, yellow keycaps. These keycaps are no good. It's white and gray, but the quality isn't good. This was not such a good item that I bought. These one are decent. They're like blue, gray, and white. These green keycaps are probably gonna be really good. The quality is quite good. And here I have gray and black. So the first question is to figure out which keycaps to start with. Probably I'll go with the black keycaps, the traditional. I bought all these keycaps because I wanted to experiment, but at the end of the day, for the first keyboard that I'm going to assemble, just use the most standard black keycaps. They're black and white. Black and yellow. I like the combination of black and yellow because of my favorite football team. So here is the keyboard. So let's unbox it. I have already opened this keyboard, so there's some stickers over here, but I kind of removed them. All right, so here it is. It looks like it's empty, but it's actually not. This is supposed to go above the keycaps and the switches, but since we have in a Barebone edition, there are no caps and switches. Here is the keyboard. Mechanical keyboard, small mechanical keyboard. Looks really good. Here are the keys. Here are the legs, so you can change the position of the keyboard. Let's have a look at the back. What we see here. This is the serial number. Glorious modular mechanical keyboard. Oh, it's modular because you can change the switches, and you can switches are. I have a bunch of switches that I'm gonna put. I'm gonna use Gateron red mechanical switches. Actually, making open source hardware mechanical keypads, like very small keyboards that are reprogrammable, and I'm using these Gateron red switches. So I'm gonna use them for this assembly here of the this keyboard that I have. What's else in the box? Welcome to the Glorious Legion. There's some stickers, I guess. This is a bit childish for my taste, or I'm just too old. But yeah, this is what you get as part of the unboxing. PC Gamers Race. There's so many leaflets. They're just advertising what they do. So we could go, all right. This is some kind of a user's manual for the keyboard, I guess. Yeah, user's guide. It's always good to read the user's manual before you do something. This is a live stream, so I haven't read it. This is the first time I'm opening it up. Okay, so here is what we're gonna achieve once we put switches and keycaps. All right. There are commands and shortcuts. Okay, this is the lights and animations. Oh, I like that. And the custom light modes. FN, multimedia function keys. Okay, so the firmware that's on the keyboard has a lot of features. I don't know if it supports KMK or QMK, the open source firmwares. I'm not sure. Probably not, if I have to guess, but we're gonna check this later on. So now let's just have a little bit of fun and start assembling this. The first thing that I'm going to do is to put Gateron red mechanical switches. These are hot swappable switches, which means that you can easily plug and remove the switches. After I have the switches, I'm gonna put on top of them the keycaps. And if you have a closer look, here we see the printed circuit board for the keyboard, and it has new pixel type of RGB LEDs beneath each key. So we have both hot swappable sockets and RGB LEDs. So it's a pretty nice small keyboard with a traditional US ANSI layout. Alright, so now let's see how we will organize things. I have a keyboard, a laptop here, but so it will be better to remove it. Have to reorganize my desk. Okay, so here is the keyboard. And here are the switches that we're gonna use later on. So I have to start adding the switches. Here's a closer look at the switch. This Gateron red mechanical switch is supporting also through hole LEDs if you want to solder them, but basically here I have hot swappable mechanical keyboards, which means that we're gonna use the RGB LEDs that have been already soldered with the surface mount technology to the keyboard. Here are the legs that makes the metal parts that make the contact. So very carefully, let's make sure that I won't bend them. Okay. It went pretty solid. Okay, now this one. That's gonna be a long way. Now here we have additional elements to keep these keys, like the longer keys. It's the same for the space. So let's see, it's for the space we have a single switch, but it's a very long keycap. Okay, I think it's fine. So it will take me a while. Once again, just to remind you, I'm having a day off, and I bought this keyboard and a few others a long time ago. I simply didn't find time where to do this, and now I want to have a little bit of fun and, you know, relax and assemble it. So it's gonna be a long way. Sorry if it's a little bit boring for you, but I think it's kind of relaxing to build a keyboard. And by the way, here is the case with all the switches. I have quite a lot of switches. All right. Oh, this takes longer than I expected. And I see that some of you are writing commands. Hi everybody, it's great to see you here. I didn't expect that anyone would watch a video about you know, getting started with a mechanical keyboard. That's a Barebone edition, and because most of the part will be like this, putting the switches, and after that the keycaps. Let me know if you're using a mechanical keyboard. What is your favorite brand, model, switches? Of course, I know that different people have different preferences about the switches. I keep it simple. I just use Gateron red mechanical switches. They're quite popular among gamers, but they're also very convenient for everyday use. Let me just rotate it over here. Alright, so one of the rows is ready. So it's a compact keyboard. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows in total. I have, here's a closer look of the Gateron red switches. You can see how there is a spacing, there is an opening and space so that the light from the RGB LEDs can go through the switches. Okay, this is a very solid design. The enclosure of this keyboard is really good. I like it. All right. Things are coming together. On a daily basis, I'm using ducking keyboard with Cherry MX switches. These Gateron red mechanical switches are Cherry MX compatible. I also have a couple of HP mechanical keyboards, Omen encoder. I have a long video about them. I'm using them on some of my desktop PCs, one at home and one at the office. I have a lot of PCs, so I need a lot of keyboards, and it's always fun to have a mechanical keyboard and play around with it. Okay, almost ready. Let's take a short break to see the results so far. It's very important not to bend the legs, because if you bend them and if they don't fit properly, they won't make a contact, and this means that you need to change the switch. Okay, once again I have to say that the chassis of the keyboard is really good. I like it. I have to double check. I think Glorious is a US company. But I might be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. We are almost there with the switches. Here we go. Step number 1 has been accomplished, and we have got on red mechanical switches, which are Cherry MX compatible, attached to the Glorious keyboard. Here it is, stage number 1. So the second stage is obviously to put the keycaps. Let me switch the cameras again. Now, I have to clear a little bit of the dust here to make some space. Where did the user's manual go? It's over here. So I just use the user's manual for the keyboard layout and make sure that there are no mistakes along the way. Okay. And now I need to open. So as I said at the beginning of the video, I have a bunch of keycaps and a bunch of keyboards, but most of them are quite interesting in terms of color, like this green here. But I'll just start with the more traditional black keycaps. And these keycaps are actually, they're quite good. Yeah, they're quite good. So now comes the problem that I have all these keycaps on my desk and I have to somehow assemble them. I'm a Linux user, but we have a Windows key. Well, maybe I can change it with a Penguin or something, a custom keycap. This one should go here. This is obviously the enter, the most important key in my opinion. Oh, that's nice. Not sure if you can hear the noise, but it's really nice. And it goes smooth. Well, let's do this with the spacebar. Oh, lovely. Things are coming together. This is the shift. There are two shifts, so let's put this one here. Here we go, we have a shift. This is the caps lock. Alright, let me put it on the side. The top. The other shift, okay. Let's add them one by one. So this is the left shift. So the left and the right shift are identical keys. So are they? Or maybe not. Oh, this didn't work out that well. Oh, that's a bit of a problem. They are not identical. Listen, I'm gonna swap these. Shifts. The whole thing is that there are different sizes. I didn't realize that, and that's kind of a problem. I prefer to have this shift properly, and this one is gonna be barely usable. That's not good. Okay. So now let's put the top keycap and caps lock. Well, I'm afraid that probably this keycap set is not very appropriate for this keyboard considering the shift, but I didn't pay attention to this when I ordered it, so we'll see how that goes. Now I'm done with almost all big keys here. And the backspace. Okay, the backspace, it's important. Here's the backspace. Now I have to proceed with the majority of the small keycaps. Actually, I can add the controls. Let's figure out where are these controls. So one control. Let's put it over here. Alt. FN. Here's the escape key. We all know where the place of the escape key is. I'm curious to try out an ortholinear keyboard, which means that have all the same keys on all rows and they are arranged in a matrix. It's going to be far more interesting than these traditional keyboards. But assembling this one is also fun. Here's out. This is gonna be on the left side. Right, and I'm looking for another control and I don't see it. How is this possible? Am I short of a control? This is gonna be a disaster if the keycaps are missing. Okay, here's the control. It's a small control. All right. I don't like it this way. So I'm gonna remove this one. Typically I'm using the control on the left and the shift on the left far more often. My initial impression of this keycap set was very good, but now with all these additional things, I don't know. There are some keys that are not what I've expected, so it's not a good fit for my keyboard, let's put it this way. So let's start adding some keys. This is 1 and F1. Let's look for 2. Here's 3. We know that place. Right. Here's 2. Six, 4, 5, 6. Is this a 9? Yeah, it's a 9. 7, 8. Where's the 0? I think I just saw it, but okay, this is the O. And we have the plus, the minus, and here's the 0. And I'm missing 5, which is over here. So here we go. Now I have a bunch of keys left, but it should be getting easier. At least that's what I hope. Because there are less keys, and when you have less keys, it's becoming easier. Okay, here is the X key, and I know its position over here. C is next to it. Oh, D. Every gamer like ASD. I'm not playing games, but I know this. I know that. Back in the days when I was playing games, actually we were using primarily the arrows, and somewhere like late 90s people started switching to using WASD. Okay, here's the Q. Let's put it over here. All right. Oh, here's Z. And here is A. Let's find W. All right. Actually, the keycaps are pretty good. They look all fine. The problem is that they're not exactly fit, some of them, for the layout of the compact keyboard that I have here. All right, so this is V, where's N, we have the F over here, next to it we have G. So this is US layout, ANSI, which means it has a small enter. People around the world, different regions, different countries have different keyboard layouts. In general, I don't type in that fast, so I like to experiment with keyboards, and I like to try out different keyboards, different keyboard layouts. I know that the US keyboard layout is the most popular, most people are used to it, but in different countries they have completely different layouts. And as I mentioned, I'm curious to try out an ortholinear keyboard or a split keyboard. Both of these are very ergonomic, and it will take a while to get used to them, but after all, using such a keyboard without an arrows also takes time to get used to it, because you have to use a lot of the FN key and to switch and use the second options. Okay, so where we are, okay, the U, I, J. The left side of the keyboard is ready. There are just a few keys to fill in on the right side. J, so here is K. L. Almost ready. Okay, so now I have a dilemma. First of all, I have to admit that the set of keycaps that I purchased, I purchased a lot of them, and so I'm going to be experimenting, but this one doesn't fit well on the keyboard. We have a really nice shift over here. This one definitely not a good fit. It's not usable. The other thing is that I don't have a menu, and I have to pick from one of the leftovers over here for the menu. None of these is a good fit. Okay. Well, here we go. At least I finished the second stage. It took me more than I expected, but in terms of time. Let me show it over here. It's pretty nice. So the next thing is to, of course, connect it to a laptop or to a computer. In this case, I have a laptop over here. It's a ThinkPad, so that we can give it a try. So here we go. Now I'll need the USB-C cable. This model is from around 2020, but it's with a USB cable. I know that a lot of people hate micro USB, and yeah, micro USBs are going away. So this is a USB-C keyboard. Actually, in terms of keyboard, it doesn't matter much what kind of connector you're using. It's recognized by the computer as a human interface, USB human interface device known as HID device. And you don't need a high speed for this communication, of course. Now the moment of proof, let's this way. Oh, it's a nice long cable. Okay, it works. Actually, the keycaps are really nice. The problem is that keycaps are really nice, but the problem is that they are not the exact fit for this keyboard. I didn't pay attention to the keycap sets that I was buying. I just had a look at the enter key, and since it's a small keyboard, I thought that I'll have enough keys. But here the problem with this keycap set and this keyboard is that this shift doesn't fit well, and here I don't have the extra key for the menu, and this key should be 1.5, not just 1 key size. All right. So I'm a Linux user. What you see here is a ThinkPad with Ubuntu 24.04. This is long-term support release of Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a Linux distribution, very user-friendly distribution. Hello. How are you? Can you see on the screen? This is a test. That's it. Okay, so this is just the typing experience. I think it's a pretty good mechanical keyboard. I really like it. It's 60% mechanical keyboard, which means that you don't have arrows, you don't have the dedicated function keys, the whole numpad is missing. But it's a very compact mechanical keyboard. You can even fit it inside your backpack. The keycaps are good, but they don't fit well. On this keyboard model. Yeah. So overall, I think this was quite a successful getting started, but not entirely. The problems are here, so probably I'll need to change these keycaps. So now you know a little bit something about GMMK Barebone Edition glorious modular mechanical keyboard, which is compact with RGB backlight, fully modular switches, aluminum body. Yeah, the body of the keyboard is really good. Keycaps and switches are not included. Of course, they're required because of this. I bought them separately and assembled them in this video. So yeah, this is the result. So now one more thing, the USB cable is super good, high quality. It's relatively long. So now let's the keyboard like that. Okay. There are some animations that we can try out. Commands and shortcuts. So breath. For breath, it's gonna be FN and F. Okay, so you can switch through several of them. Okay, you can see how they're breathing. And this is the third animation effect. Single LUT cover, no changing effect. Okay. Now let's try with the touch. Let's press from pointer key was pressed to other keys. Okay. Now when I press a key, we'll see the effect. Oh, that's nice. The second effect with around the touch, key lights up and fade when they're pressed. That's curious. That's kind of similar to what we've just seen. K effect. All random covers on all keys changing slowly. I'm sorry, it was with V. That's a bit too much for my taste. I don't like this animation effect. The good thing is that you can have various animation effects. Let's have the wave. So here is the wave. Well, I think it was a successful assembly of this keyboard. Thank you very much for watching this live stream. I really do live streams. I'm not sure if people like them, but today I had some spare time and needed to relax with this keyboard. So it was a successful thing for me. I hope it was interesting for those of you who joined to have a look at it. If you like, I wouldn't say this type of content because I rarely make that type of live streams, but if you like, if you're interested in topics such as open source, specifically Linux and embedded Linux, also microcontrollers, Raspberry Pi, single board computers, and various alternatives to Raspberry Pi, consider having a look at the other videos on my channel. Earlier today, I've published a video how to update the firmware of a ThinkPad from using the firmware updater tool of Ubuntu, which is an open source software. On Sunday, I'll have a more technical video. It's going to be about the Yocto project and Open Embedded on Raspberry Pi 5. We'll use Conman to do Wi-Fi connections. Later on, for beginning of September or late August, I'll do a review of a ThinkPad T490. I have various different reviews of ThinkPad laptops. Most recently, I reviewed ThinkPad T14 Generation 1. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. This live stream has been going on for more than 40 minutes, which is far longer than I expected. Thank you for joining. Please have a look at my other videos if you like them. And hope to see you soon again. Bye-bye.